So, all that I'm going to preface on this updated deck profile is Bandai needs to seriously stop spying on my phone. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and Digimon Tamers of all ages. It is I, Seto-sama the Fanatic, back at you with an updated deck profile for WarGreymon. BT12 has finally hit, and it's once again time to let my boy WarGreymon shine, all the way with all the new support, limitations, and updates galore. So first off, let's get started with the Digi-Eggs. We have the 4 Koromon from BT5, relatively self-explanatory. If you find yourself needing more power, switch it out for the BT9 Koromon immediately, and you'll have more DP for your raid shenanigans. The card that makes this deck is this new Agumon from BT12. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add a Greymon or Omnimon to hand, and a Tamer card with Taikami in its name from among them to your hand, and then bottom deck the rest. And as an inheritable, all your Greymon and Omnimon that have him as an inheritable get 1,000 DP both turns. So yeah, this almost single-handedly replaces the promo Agumon that gave you 2,000 DP only during your turn if your Digimon was Greymon. Works for raid and works for blocker. This guy is perfect. I'm seeing a lot of people cut this card, the BT5 Agumon. Personally, I have a common theme. You can do like a 2-2 split or replace this Agumon with the either the ST7 Agumon or the promo that gives you a DP buff if you're a Greymon. But my personal theory is, since I'm not running memory boosts in this deck, spoiler alert, I made sure that all of my rookies had an on-play effect. So that way I could play them, and then, assuming Quartzmon doesn't drop down and suspend it, I can then attack with it and deal with my opponent's security that way with Rookie Rush. Next, we have 4 copies of Agumon X Antibody. Self-explanatory. This card is so good, and it's super expensive right now. And I still just really love the Black Agumon from BT8. In my opinion, it's the best on-play Agumon, aside from, the BT12 one that just came out. I mean, you search your Mega and whichever piece of your line that you're missing. That's basically what it comes down to. So, into the champions, we have 4 copies of the starter deck Greymon with security attack +1. I'm 50-50 right now. I haven't really properly tested this deck yet. But you can swap the ratios with this one and the new Greymon, or you can swap it out entirely for the Greymon from BT5, which is essentially a 1-cost Digivolution if you have an Agumon as a source. Next up, the new boy, the new Greymon. Starting a trend of Digimon literally playing their tamers for free from the champion level. So this Greymon, I forgot to mention, the BT12 Agumon digivolves for 0 from any Koromon. Just like the Gilmon in EX3, doesn't matter what color it is. If it's a Koromon, this thing can digivolve on top of it. Doesn't matter if it's red, yellow, or black, or if they come out with any other color Koromon at any point. So this Greymon can digivolve on top of any Digimon with Agumon in name that's a level 3 for 2. That includes Toy Agumon and any clear Agumon cards and other variants like Bushi Agumon and stuff. Then, when you digivolve him, if you don't have a tamer with Taikami in its name in play, you play one for free. So, that's a free memory tamer, or the new Tai, or any of the power boosts, but let's be honest, you're not going to use any of the 2-cost ones anymore, especially because the new 3-cost one exists, and it is glorious, and a little bit more on that later. Next up, we have the 2 Greymon X's. I wanted to run a 4th regular Greymon X Antibody, but considering, minor spoiler alert, I'm not running Cool Boy, it felt less necessary to max out on these Greymons. Generally, the Greymon that you want is the Security Attack +1 in your stack, or you want, this one from 12. And the Limited Boy, the boy that I claim I literally willed into existence, and then because of this guy right here, he's restricted to 1. Because it would be a 1-cost evolution. Never mind that green does it with basically every single download card, or Digizorption, excuse me. I still think that name change is kind of stupid. But anyway, it's Greymon X. This card literally power creeped this one, and now we can only run the one of it. So, I guess we're moving on. Next up, Ultimates, we've only got 7. We've got 4 of the new Metal Greymon with the raid keyword, and 3 X antibodies from BT9. So, there's no beating around the bush. Like I said before, this thing literally forced this card to be limited to 1 per deck. It's got the raid mechanic, or the raid keyword, meaning that if you attack, you can switch the attack to your opponent's Digimon that has the highest EP and is active. And then alterns, when your attack target is switched, or when a attack target is switched, you can play a red or black tamer without paying its memory cost that is 4 or less for free. Oh, and the inheritable? Yeah, we don't need the EX1 Metal Greymon anymore. Piercing to Greymon and Omnimon, like it should have been from the get-go. And Metal Greymon X, seriously, what do I need to say about this Metal Greymon X from BT9? This helps you OTK. It's so dumb. And the fact that you can give this piercing with this just makes it even better. Makes it so stupid. I frickin' love it. Alright, now to mention the new boy, we're running a 3-2 ratio on the WarGreymons. I want to find room in here for the BT1 WarGreymon. You know, the one that says you don't check any security effects on option cards you check. But I could not find the room. You basically just have to rely on Yuya in hoping that you'll be unaffected by option cards. So, 3 of the new WarGreymon. This card is busted. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention. This thing can digivolve for 3 from any level 4 with Greymon in its name. So any Greymon. Greymon, X Antibody, Geo Greymon, yada yada. This one digivolves for 3 from any level 5 with Metal Greymon in its name. So as you can see, it's normally a 4, but it can digivolve on top of this for 3. So it also has the new raid keyword, which basically says, F you Mother D-Reaper, you ain't safe anymore. And we now don't need a 4-cost evolution to stop that either. So, after that, when digivolving, until the end of your opponent's next turn, it gets plus 3,000 DP and reboot. So on Evo, you're going to be at least 1,500. And that's not counting any power boosts that you have underneath, or from prior in the evolution like Metal Greymon X. And then the most busted part about this card is when an attack target is switched, you unsuspend it. So you literally what you do is you raid, and then when your attack target is switched with raid, you unsuspend it and you can attack with it again. This card is nuts. This card is absolutely busted. And I was originally running a 3-2 ratio with the WarGreymon X and only 2 of this card. Nah, I'd find room for 4 of him if I could. Next up, we have the 2 WarGreymon X. It's WarGreymon X. I don't really need to explain this. Boy is good. Highly underrated prior to here. Now he might be a little more prevalent than Black War X, but Black War X and Gaio are still really phenomenal cards. And next up, we are updating the Omnimon package a little bit. Prior in the last profile, I believe that one is on the channel. If it's not on the Team Forbidden channel, it might be on the last update on mine if I made one. I had 2 of the BT5 Omnimon and 1 of the X Antibody Omnimon from BT10. This one is here because I've always wanted to try it, and Beelzemon is a huge deck right now, and this is basically my answer to that. So, BT5 Omni, it's the best Omni in the game. This is literally your finisher. And this helps you finish games and control boards. So does this. Into the Tamers. We have 3 copies of the new BT12 Tai Kamiya. Like I said in the intro, Bandai, stop spying on my phone. So, a fun story about this card is, at one point, I was reaching out to a bunch of my friends in the Digimon card community down here in Orange County and asked them if they had a Tamer card, what would it be, what would it do, and I made one for myself that was essentially this card, but with a couple of other effects. I'm going to have Andrew edit it and put the text on the screen. This card was released literally just over a week later after I told my friend what my Tamer card would do. It's basically almost the exact same, except I got the color wrong. Where the Tamer I designed myself was red instead of black. And you're gonna see the text on your screen showing what it was. But it's eerily similar to this. Like, almost an exact copy, changed just a little bit. So, anyways, next, going into our Tamers, I have things a little cluttered here at the end. We have 1 BT1 Tai Kamiya. I was considering not running this card at all, but I'm sorry. If you can play a Memory Tamer for free, you play that Memory Tamer for free. It's not even an option. And then we've got, of course, 2 Yu Kugas. This is the only way to beat Mastamon and Security Control. Make yourself immune to options. Basically, big combo with Yuya is you have a Metal Greymon with the X Antibody under it. Swing with the Metal Greymon. Raid. Play the Kuga from the raid. Use X Antibody to digivolve Metal Greymon into Metal Greymon X, and congratulations, you have at least a 13k Digimon that is dealing with an unsuspended Digimon on the opponent's board with piercing with at least 2 security checks. For at least just 3 memory. Moving up a champion from breeding to the battle area. It's nuts. It's super nuts, and it's super cool. I know some people just play this and cut this, but there seems to be quite a bit of security control down here in Orange County, so I can't really just use BT1 Tai. I have to use Yuya as well. Next up, into our option cards, we have 3 copies of X Antibody. I see a lot of people running this card at like 2. You notice there's no Cool Boy. I've just got the Agumon X's to search this out, or pray that it just pops up in security, giving myself a memory and adding it to my hand. And then last but not least, to deal with the Hunter's deck, we have 2 copies of Hades Force. Seriously, I have no idea what the heck that they were thinking printing this card. It killed Tamers with a total number of cards with a play cost less than or equal to one of your Greymons on the field, which is going to be like 12 if you have a WarGreymon or WarGreymon X on board. And if you got War X, you're gaining bad memory from the security checks as well. So anyways, guys, that's my current update / rough draft of BT12 WarGreymon. Let me guys know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell down below for notifications, and we will catch you guys on the flip side. Digital Gate closed.